The DMC2 video is on its way. It just takes a lot out of me. But first, viewer, let me ask you, what's a weird game type combination? Like, the raw core gameplay of something and the characters and ideas of another. Whatever you said is definitely a valid option, and I'd love to hear about it down below. Well, let me throw one at you real quick. Ain't a review, so don't expect a hard, in-depth explanations about the plot and, gameplay and all that extra shit. I'm just here to talk for a little bit. But I could do a review in the future, or like make it a Patreon goal or some shit, I don't know. I want to touch on the blend of Touhou and Battle Network. This game uses the Network Society of Capcom's Mega Man Battle Network, from viruses, battle chips, to even NetNavis. Blended with locations and characters of Touhou, we have Little Remilia and her Scarlet Manor to Little Reimu and her quiet shrine, surrounded by the big-ass heads. Seriously, these things are like Touhou culture, I swear. There's also a lot of familiar faces that I won't talk about because I want you to play the game and to see all that it has, but let's just say, there are some things that really you wouldn't expect to show up the way they do, and I like it, as a fan of both. One thing I can talk about is the debug room, and specifically NetNavis that weren't implemented into the game properly, like Flandre, who has seen a redux of what she once was, from a child who was kept indoors, unable to play with others, to a NetNavi with crazy attacks and a possible bad temperament. I say possible because this game was able to see the end of its story development, but not actually see the end of its development proper. It was hit with a CND from Capcom due to the head dev doing a Patreon locked version of the game, which, if you're making a fan game, that's a big no-no. You never wall off content from an IP that doesn't belong to you. But that then led to the canceled development of the game. But for what's here, I can say it's insanely hefty, and seeing the extra bosses makes me think, what could have been is insanely ambitious, but not to a point where it makes me sad. What I have with this quote-unquote demo is worth the time I put in and recommendation. It's got a lot to it so far. It's got a full-fledged story running you about 20 to 26 hours, depending on your skill level, and an extra plot that I still haven't even done yet. I gotta grind out the battle chips. Battle Network post games be like that sometimes. But it's very meaty. It feels like a full-fledged Mega Man Battle Network game from start to finish. I am warning you now though, the game is kinda hard. Like, the story run is harder than a story run of like a regular Battle Network game proper. It still carries the same sense of progression, gathering battle chips, new abilities, eventually your Navicus program, but it is very hard comparatively, so make sure you stack your deck correctly. If you're a Touhou fan or a Battle Network fan, I say check this out. Worth it as a fan of both myself, but I can definitely say, if you come into this as a fan of one, I hope you come out looking into the other. With all that being said, I've been wandering Sosuke. Want y'all to be easy, take care, and of course, as always, have yourselves a damn good one, and stay gold. Jana.